Can South Africa continue winning in this tournament without Quinton de Kock? That's a question that we want to ask. I know amongst everything that has been happening recently, we know what is the situation has taken place with Quinton de Kock pulling out of the World Cup game against the West Indies, citing reasons that he didn't want to take a knee. So we're going to be discussing this. But before we get going, I just want to confirm something because there was an update given by Cricket South Africa, and that was that the update is that there's no update on Quinton de Kock quite yet. His statement, his statement is being finalized and will be shared as soon as possible. We can confirm that he's still very much a part of the Proteas team and has not been sent home yet, as some reports have incorrectly stated. So that is the update from Cricket South Africa themselves. So we'll see what Quinton de Kock's statement is, and then we'll obviously speak about it. Hopefully, there'll be a statement tomorrow before we do our preview show for the next game. That's what we're hoping, so that we can bring you an update very quickly. So we're going to discuss this today. We're going to discuss the possibility of Quinton not being there and then seeing how we deal with this. But before we get going, guys, please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every single issue is 100% free. Go to the description, click on the link, and you'll come to a landing page. All you have to do is put your email address in and your name, and you'll get it straight to your inbox every single month. So please go ahead and do that. Why not subscribe? 100% free. If you're watching this video later, then click the eye on the top of the screen. It will be active tomorrow. Then let's discuss subscribing, please, because you guys are coming to the channel, you guys are watching, and a couple of you guys are not subscribed. So click subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. Why return to the videos if you're not going to subscribe? And click that notification bell and get it up to date. So please go ahead and do that and smash that like button so we can trend on YouTube as well and get into recommended feeds. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's content. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Moeden. This is my co-host Aditya. And today we'll be discussing Quinton de Kock. So as we know, I've just read the statement from Cricket South Africa that they released to us to let us know what's happening with regards to Quinton de Kock. So he will come up with a statement himself. I wanted to state that where my stance is on the matter, I still feel that we need to respect him and his decisions. It is his own opinion and it is his own decision to do so. And like I said on the show yesterday on the review show, is that I was disappointed in the manner that he pulled out. The leaving his team in that situation where they needed to decide on a selection into the team, someone brand new learning before the toss that they're going to play. I feel that was a bit unfair on his teammates, and it could be handled differently. If he wanted to take a stance, he should have taken a stance on the field. That would have obviously shown more. But another thing that I want to say is about this Black Lives Matter movement and all of these type of things. Standing up against racism is what this movement's about, and that should be highlighted over here. Everybody's getting caught up with the kneeling factor and with the fact that it's religion is getting thrown into the equation, politics is getting thrown into the equation. This particular kneeling is about standing up to racism and discrimination. So I just want to put that out there because, like, there are other conservations and other things that people stand up for. For example, the rhinos. I said it before. Standing up for the rhinos, like Quinton de Kock doesn't mean that he doesn't stand up to other animals, abuse against other animals, or killing other animals, or poaching other animals. So standing up for the rhinos doesn't mean that you don't support other animals' lives don't matter. There's so many things that have happened in the past. We wear Pink Day clothes, Pink Day test, not test matches, but the Pink Day ODIs that South Africa play. It stands up against breast cancer, particularly. Doesn't mean that other cancers don't matter. Quinton de Kock wears the pink. All the players wear the pink. in celebration of that and to raise awareness for breast cancer. So breast cancer awareness is a massive thing. Doesn't mean that other cancers don't matter. Similarly to women's rights, we all support women's rights. We all stand up to women's rights. Doesn't mean that other genders don't matter, that we ourselves don't matter, that men as well, and other genders as well. That doesn't mean that that doesn't matter. We have gay pride. People stand up for gay pride. Doesn't mean that other people that are straight don't matter. So just like this, just because you're standing up for Black Lives Matter does not mean that white people's lives don't matter. And I just want to take that stance and put it out there. So if you ever hear something from me, just know that I'm saying that just because you stand up and want to protect racism against black people who have been in history, have been affected by racism the most in the past over centuries, if standing up for that doesn't mean that you don't believe that white people matter. So I just want to put that out there. But let's get into this. I just want to talk about this question. It's a massive question. And I just thought that it will be an interesting topic to talk about. We don't have a confirmation whether he's going to be in the squad, but let's just play around with this particular question and see, is it possible for us to continue winning? Now, yes, South Africa did win their first game. There was a lot riding on it, and they were under a lot of pressure. And what I love about it the most is the fact that they have gone there and made a statement. They made a statement as a team. Riza Hendrik specifically, there might have been rumors around the team selection that he might have played anyway in its place of Klaassen. That could have been an option. We chatted about it, bringing in another batsman for Klaassen, maybe dropping Klaassen. So that could have been an option. And Klaassen might have been the person that was brought into the squad on the last minute before the toss. But when I'm looking at it, Riza did excellently. Can he do it consistently is the question throughout the rest of the tournament. Can he be that person without Quinton de Kock there? That should be the question. And can we bring up another reserve is the question, Aditya. Because if they fly Quinton de Kock back and you're using one of your reserves, can you replace that reserve is a question we need to ask. So whether South Africa can win without Quinton de Kock in this team, I feel that if everybody rallies behind this movement and everybody behind each other, if everybody rallies behind each other and are playing as a unit, they can. I think they can do it. But we're really going to need our captain to step up and score runs then. I know I'm putting a lot of pressure on Temba over here, but Temba needs to start to perform with the bat because ultimately we're going to need his runs if Quinton de Kock is not there. We're going to need him to perform every single match, at least get a minimum of 30 runs above plus to be able to really put South Africa in a decent position. And I'm giving a very low total over here because I think he should be scoring half centuries whenever he gets the opportunity. And I'm hoping that he does cross that line and do that. I'm expecting a lot from Temba. I'm expecting performances from him. If Quinton de Kock is not there, he needs to put up his hand as a captain and really go ahead and play. So that's just something that I think. From your perspective, I mean, when I'm looking at Quinton, his record in the World Cups haven't really necessarily been that great. IPL, he's played really well here and there. Crunch games, not always has he stood up in crunch games. I remember in the MSL as well. Certain crunch games, he played really well in the group stages in the beginning of the tournament when they were fighting to get themselves through the tournament. But when it comes to the quarters, semis, finals, Quinton de Kock's records in those knockout type of games are is not necessarily the best when you look at it. Or am I completely talking crap here, Aditya? What you say?
You're quite right. And I've been rather critical of Quinton de Kock for quite a while now, because a question that I'd asked on one of our private WhatsApp groups is Quinton de Kock really as good as the management think he is? His numbers certainly don't suggest that, and the fact that in the UAE he's been struggling for the most part outside of the power play is an indication of the fact that he hasn't been able to adapt. And he had a decent series against Sri Lanka. He put in a couple of impressive performances. But my question for Quinton is that there have been far too many patches of inconsistency, and we haven't seen the growth in his game. I think he's about 28 now, 29. Batters tend to peak in that period between 29 and 32. But I don't see that growth in Quinton's game, and there simply aren't enough game-changing innings that we've seen of Quinton's back bat. And I do feel like a lot of times the Proteas are riding their expectations on Quinton's performances. But the truth of the matter is that he hasn't delivered a knockout performance in quite a while. So will he be missed if he doesn't play the rest of the tournament? As a player, I don't think so. I don't think I don't think the Proteas will miss him. And uh, if if there was one if there was one takeaway that was so important from the game yesterday, was that Reza Hendricks probably found out minutes before the toss that he was going to play. And as an individual, it speaks to the degree of his preparation that he was able to just turn up and perform straight away. So no, I don't think the team will miss Quinton at all.
So what I want to say is Quinton's so talented. Um, he's always been one of my favorite players. Uh, but I'm looking at the UAE and specifically the UAE and Quinton de Kock. It might not favor him as much as we might have thought. Like I really thought that the Australia game would be the game for him to prove me wrong. To come out there, show that he's the man in that team. So far, it's been Aiden that has stepped up, eh? A 40 and a 50, the fastest 50 in the tournament so far. So if we can get a solid opening partnership and set up the likes of Aiden Markram and David Miller even to come there and score runs quickly, South Africa wouldn't really necessarily miss Quinton. But I think with Quinton's X factor, not knowing when he's going to perform, I think that's a massive loss for South Africa from that perspective. I mean, I would really, I would really be lying if I say that I wouldn't miss Quinton de Kock from that perspective, from a playing perspective, from a cricket perspective, because the boy is really talented, or the man is really talented, and it's unbelievable how he can completely take a game away from someone. But with regards to UAE specifically, he has struggled a little bit in the UAE. It's not like he's had fuff numbers in the UAE. So like, if anybody had to replace him, I would have hell. I will go running for Faf. I would go get Faf. If we can't get Faf, then Janneman must be on that plane immediately. I think Janneman is the next in line. If Quinton de Kock is not available, Janneman's the next guy that opens the batting for South Africa. I feel. If you're gonna assess form, though, yes, Janneman scored a good score in the last match that he played domestically, but a guy like Matthew Brzezinski has also put up his hand as an opener. You've got the likes of even very left field, maybe you could say, because he hasn't really been in the talks. Is Yasin Vali, who's opened the batting as well as an opener, but he's more of a Riza type of opener. If you're going to look for a more attacking type of opener that is like combative, like Quinton de Kock, you have to look at someone like Janneman Malan, who's explosive in the power play, etc. So yeah, that's what I think right now. So that is a little bit mixed in the comment section, I see. Ryder Rousseau, I'm not sure if Ryder Rousseau is available. I would like to get Ryder Rousseau on the show actually sometime. I did ask him. So I will have another chat with him and see what Riley says, and then we can maybe get him on the show and ask him about his availability for South Africa. That would be an excellent thing to do. Aditya, what are your final words about Quinton de Kock?
Whatever decision is to be made about de Kock's future in the tournament has to be made quickly, because if anything, the Proteas don't have time to lose. They can't spend too much time deliberating over this, because if they bring in a replacement, they have to factor in the quarantine requirements and the fact that whoever comes in will not have trained for a period of time. So if something happens to Reza Hendricks, then who are your openers? That's going to be a massive challenge. So
well, I think it's clear that it will be Reza for now.
No, assuming something happens to Reza, if he gets injured.
Oh yes,
then what happens then?
But that was remember,
do?
I told you when we did our talk before the World Cup, when the squad was announced, I was like, why don't we have an explosive batter on the bench? We've got a bowler.
Yeah.
We've got another all-rounder in Perklequayo, and then we've got another all-rounder in George Linder, spinning all-rounder. So why wasn't there a batter selected in that reserves? Is my question. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
because my guess is, assuming something happens to Riza, God forbid, that nothing should happen to him. Uh, but then I suppose Aiden will open the innings with Temba, and then someone will replace him in the middle order. But I think it's still a bit disruptive, given how well Aiden has done at number four. Um, but it is a consideration, and I think if anything, the Proteas simply don't have the time to be deliberating over this any longer. They have to make a decision fast.
Just a quick answer. I just want to tell the guys that just that have just signed on now. Quinton de Kock has not been sent home. Those rumors are
Yeah,
false. He's still within the protest camp. They are still discussing. He's preparing a statement to explain his reasons, all of those type of things. We will be. We'll obviously go live. Hopefully, we get that statement tomorrow because it's the day before a massive clash. That game tomorrow is going to be Sri Lanka's game is going to be very, very important for South Africa to see what they can do. It's going to be very, very important to see what can happen over there. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. The link is in the description, 100% free. Also, click the eye on the top of the screen to know about that. That is obviously after this video has been published. I know I messed that up over there. But anyway, so subscribe to this channel as well and click the notification bell for all future videos. You'll get notifications about every video when we go live. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Smash that like button, please. I want to see 30 likes. There's 30 people watching right now. I want to see 30 likes on this video at the end of this video. Please, guys. So smash that like button and give some comments in the comment section. Share this with all your friends and family as well. We would like to hear your thoughts on this. Thanks a lot for watching. And we'll see you guys very, very soon tomorrow for our preview show. Take care, everybody.